crazy, angry video game nerd.
The 90s was arguably one of the best times for video games. You had so many new consoles coming out, and with junk food being popular and already advertising to kids, they decided to jump on the bandwagon and start making their own video games. Most food companies just stuck to TV commercials, Got Milk, Fruit Stripe Gum, Lunchables, and of course Mentos, the fresh maker. Those companies didn't have to make video games, but guess who did? Cheetos, McDonald's, and Domino's Pizza, who created Yo-Noid. What's the deal with the Noid? What kind of drugged-up fever dream spawned this mutilated mascot monstrosity? It's a creepy guy wearing a red rabbit suit. And why does he ruin pizzas? What were they thinking? Most junk food games were just a bunch of business bullshit from the wasted imaginations from all the corporate fat cats. So, get out your pooper scooper and let's dig out this piss litter of a game. Whoa! What the fuck? You scared the shit out of me. Not this shit, actual shit. Listen, I gotta play this game. You gotta get out of here. Huh, what? Drink? How do you play Drink? What kind of title is that? The back is in Japanese, and the side has the title in Japanese, and then the other side has it in English. Pepsiman. Pepsiman?
Pepsiman! Pepsiman!
Pepsiman?
Pepsiman!
Okay, so Pepsiman is this weird T-1000 looking Japanese Pepsi mascot who helps people by magically turning things into Pepsi. In all his TV commercials, he's a bumbling idiot who stumbles around, smashes into windows, and transforms into a cactus? Even though he was only marketed in Japan, all his commercials take place in the USA. He even starred in his own video game, and was also featured as an unlockable character in the Japanese version of Fighting Vipers for the Sega Saturn. To unlock him, all you gotta do is lose the first fight. Never seen that before. You lose to unlock a character? Well, thanks, Pepsi Man, that's very interesting, but I have other junk food games I could play, like Cool Spot. Oh, come on. Oh, well, I could always play Chester Cheetah. Oh, well, how about, Big Bumpin'? Oh, man. How about, Kool-Aid Man? God damn it, you silly fuck. I don't want to play Pepsi Man. Okay, jeez. I'll play Pepsi Man. Well, in the chance that you were looking forward to Cool Spot or Yo-Noid, can't play them because they're all Pepsi Man now. Everything I want to play is Pepsi Man. Yeah, well, I guess let's pop this corporate cock fuck in. The intro starts with this live-action cutscene of a guy buying a Pepsi. As he drinks it, you hear the shrill shriek of Pepsi Man set to surf music. And then he stares into the can. Okay, so is Pepsi Man in the can now? I don't even get it. I mean, this is fucking stupid. I'm not playing it. Okay, I'll play it. Next, we see Pepsi Man running down a street to nowhere as he crashes face first into the game's logo. What the hell's wrong with this mascot? Chester Cheetah was cool. Cool Spot had cool in his name, but Pepsi Man, he's not cool at all. He doesn't make me want to drink a Pepsi. Makes me want to drink a fucking beer. What? I said it makes me want to drink a fucking beer. Oh, come on. All right. Wow, that's a lot of Pepsi. I bet his bowel movements are like tar and colon foam.
Hey, let's start the game!
So the first level starts off with Pepsi Man meeting a truck driver with a flat tire.
There are a bunch of people gathered in front of the vending machine. They want Pepsi! And the word is that they're just about to riot.
Really? They'll riot? Why is Pepsi such a big deal here? Is that one vending machine the only place to get a Pepsi in this town? I mean, there's Pepsi everywhere. It's laying all over the streets. You can get one anywhere. So Pepsi Man runs around collecting Pepsi while dodging cars, pedestrians, pogo jackhammer fucks, chuds, and this garbage man who's being an asshole. Look, they wait for him at the intersection and then start launching garbage out the truck. Dicks. Pepsi Man doesn't give any shits either. He'll run right through your house. Hell, he'll even run right into you and send you flying through your kitchen wall. That guy's probably dead. This part reminds me of the chase scene in Raising Arizona, but instead of Nicolas Cage, it's Pepsi Man, and instead of Huggies, it's Pepsi's. Here, you crash through a shed and end up with a trash can on your head, which makes your controls opposite. Yeah. Finally, I get to the end of the level and he buys a Pepsi from a vending machine. Why don't the people go to this one at the Kid and Kid store instead of riding like a bunch of Pepsi-crazed freaks? And why does Pepsi Man buy a Pepsi when he just collected 94 Pepsis? And why can't I go one goddamn sentence without saying Pepsi? That's enough for me. This game's too monotonous. Oh, dude, your breath. It smells like tooth decay. Here, have some Mentos. Wow. That worked. Thanks to Mentos.
Mentos, the fresh maker.
Well, fuck it. I'll just keep going. So in level 2, there's this radical skateboard part. It sucks. The controls feel stiff and one hit kills you. I guess it makes sense. If you were riding a skateboard down the hills and crashed into a trolley, you'd be dead. Now a moving company's trying to kill Pepsi Man too? They're just driving with the truck wide open, launching furniture at him. That's someone's furniture! Imagine if you hire a moving company to load up all your furniture and you get to the new house and then it arrives, the van is empty and you're like, hey, where the hell's all my furniture? And they say, oh yeah, we saw Pepsi Man on the way over and we had to just chuck it all at him. Yeah, that'll be $500. So finally, you make it to the rioters who are going apeshit by this Pepsi machine. This one's at a different Kid and Kid store, and this one lady's biting her shirt or something, and this guy's jacking off. Pepsi Man gives them Pepsi, and all is well. That is, until the Pepsi truck smashes into you, sending you into a Pepsi billboard with a giant Pepsi can that rolls after you, Indiana Jones style. Now I'm being chased. Yeah, this time I'm running towards the camera instead of away. Way to shake up the gameplay there. I hate this. I wish I had something wittier to say, but there's really nothing. I mean, this game is just mindless brain waste. It's an advertisement that's meant to push processed poison pissed out of Pepsi Man's pee hole.
Speak of the devil, you're back. What's that you got there? That's not Pepsi. That's a Rolling Rock. An actual Rolling Rock. You know what? Pepsi Man's actually pretty cool. Cheers, buddy. This isn't Rolling Rock. It's not even beer. This is Crystal Pepsi. And it's old. Like, what is this, from the 90s? It's all flat. You know what? Fuck you. You're shit and your game is shit. Pepsi Man! Have a Pepsi.
No thanks.
Next stage.
So the next part, you gotta get to the top of a burning building. The firefighter can't get first aid to them in time, so of course, you bring them Pepsi. Oh yeah, I'm sure that'll help all the people trapped on the roof of a burning fucking building. Yeah, treat their burns with some Pepsi. Thanks to Pepsi Man. This level is horrifying. It's like society's final days, brought to you by Pepsi. This guy here smashes his car into a brick wall and explodes, but Pepsi Man just runs by. That guy's probably dead, but I gotta get those people Pepsi! So after traversing this urban hellscape, you get to this truck that keeps launching barrels. Yeah, I guess Donkey Kong's in there, and he hates Pepsi Man as much as I do. After that, you get to the most unsafe construction zone ever. Girders are falling apart, sections of the bridge are missing, these guys are just swinging metal beams, and the bulldozers are just spinning around. What's happening here? Pepsi Man stops to buy yet another Pepsi and falls into one of my most hated video game cliches ever. The sewer level. This is where the shit graphics really shine. It's so dark that you can't see where you're going. There's pitfalls everywhere, and the only reason I know they're there is because I fell into them 50 times. I feel like it'd be easier in real life to run through a sewer and collect Pepsi. Right here, I swear, you have no choice but to get hurt by this wall. There's no way to pass it, and even when you do, there's a narrow path you need to hit, or else you're starting over. Another part that's bullshit is the subway section. I don't know what to do. There's a train coming right at you with no time to avoid. I tried dodging it, but I get killed every time. Then, after restarting the level like 12 times, I accidentally found the dash function. Yeah, hitting up and square lets Pepsiman dash. How was I supposed to know that? On the control screen, it only shows slide and jump. Maybe it says it in the book, but it's all Japanese. At the rate I'm going, I'll probably learn Japanese before I finish this game. Who's calling? Oh, come on, nobody's calling you! Hello?
Hello, is Pepsiman there?
Oh, I guess it is for you.
No, don't give him the phone. You need to listen to me very carefully. You need to get out of there. Pepsiman is evil. He wants nothing more.
Oh, come on, don't you know how hard it is to find a good phone like this? So finally I reach the burning building and give the poor stranded people some Pepsi. Then I get chased by the truck from the Enter Sandman music video. It's basically the same as the giant Pepsi can from the first level, just a bit harder. Eventually Pepsiman turns down the road as the truck smashes through a building. It seems like no one in this world has value for human life. Just motherfucking Pepsi. Look at that. The truck smashes into something, and Pepsiman pays no mind and just keeps on running like Forrest Gump.
Pepsi for TV game.
Not video game? TV game? I mean, it makes sense. Yeah, from now on, I'm the angry TV game nerd. Here we go, on to the next disaster that requires Pepsi. This time it's a motherfucking plane crash. Jeez, there's lots of tragedy in this game. Thankfully, all the people are okay, but they need their Pepsi, goddammit. So, you guessed it, more running. It's the same thing over and over. This time you're going down a highway with traffic coming on both sides, which begs the question, why doesn't Pepsiman just run on the side of the road? There's trucks, motorcycles, buffalo, and a bunch of rocks rolling, but no rolling rocks. You get to the end and Pepsiman, once again, buys a Pepsi at a vending machine. You know, Pepsiman is a rather sad tale. Pepsiman can make Pepsi for everybody except himself. This next stage is a nightmare. After beating the desert, you run through the mine where you can't see shit. How is anyone supposed to play this? There's pits everywhere, but good luck seeing them. It doesn't help that if you get a game over, you have to run through the desert part again. You're gonna be here for a bit. Each time I'd get a little further and then die at whatever came next. This part is like really having to piss and knowing the next rest stop isn't for 200 miles. So about an hour later, when I happen to do less shitty enough, I finally deliver those poor plane crash victims their Pepsi. And of course, another chase level. This time I want you to guess who chases Pepsiman, because it makes no sense. Is it Buffalo? Nope, nice try. Motorcycles? Keep guessing. Rolling rocks? No again. This time you get chased by a giant tumbling mass of logs.
Pepsi for pizza.
Pepsi for pizza? Yeah, actually a pizza would be pretty good right about. Oh, thanks. I hate you. Okay, so thankfully we're on to the final level, Pepsi City, a dystopian urban sprawl that should pose as a warning of rampant consumerism. It's a place that's completely comprised of advertisements. Imagine if Roddy Piper wore the sunglasses from They Live Here. His head would explode. Honestly, seeing all these Pepsi logos and playing this game is doing the exact opposite of making me want a Pepsi. It makes me want not a Pepsi. So this time the computer at the Pepsi factory has gone haywire, and without Pepsiman's help, there'll be a world shortage of Pepsi. So Pepsiman must run! you're gonna die here a fuck ton of times. This is a culmination of all the frustrating bullshit and then some. This has to be the most unhealthy city in the world. It's no wonder people are keeled over on the side of the street. How about drink some water? That might help. One thing I don't understand is why every sign in this game falls off when Pepsi Man gets near it. Are the signs sentient creatures bent on inconveniencing Pepsi Man? Everything is so precise for such a piece of shit game. It took me the same amount of time to beat the stage than every other stage combined. I game overed 13 times. Each continue, you get 4 lives. Plus, I died 3 more times before I finally passed it. Maybe I just suck, maybe the game sucks, maybe we both suck, but either way, that's too much suckage going around. This last section, you can't hit anything or you're dead, and you only have a few seconds to do it. But finally, I've made it to the computer core, and the world can have their precious Pepsis. Onward to the last chase level. This time, it's another giant Pepsi can that falls off 2 columns. Seriously, Pepsi City and the rest of the world, for that matter, needs to find a decent structural engineer. Everything's falling apart. This time, the can just falls for no reason. What if a regular person happened to walk under this thing? There'd be lawsuits out the ass. This last level is like the log one, except it's a Pepsi can that gives birth to baby Pepsi cans that try to trip you. When you beat it, the TV game guy flips his shit, the credits roll, and then he has to piss because of the ungodly amount of Pepsi he's consumed.
Excuse me.
Beating it unlocks Classic Pepsi Man and Free Play mode if you want to play through and collect all the Pepsis. I say, however, fuck that, good riddance, the end. Well, that's Pepsi Man. That's Pepsi Man. That's Pepsi Man. That's Pepsi Man. That's Pepsi Man.
I'm crazy.